Happy Hump Day, everybody. It's Tony George from DocSports.com. We're going to talk about the Elite Eight last night. We're going to look ahead to the Final Four real quick in a little discussion, as well as give you a free NBA play. Quickly, what's on deck at DocSports.com. Today, we've got a doubleheader in the NBA off back-to-back wins, and we've got one of our strongest plays of the season tonight. We have a first half line pick of the month tonight, and along with another play on the card that's an underdog. So jump on board over there. You get a free $60. Go get this. This is a rare 7-unit play in the NBA. That's the hype. Also, we have a 4-unit play in the NHL, and I'd be remiss in my duties once again if I didn't mention that Major League Baseball goes tomorrow, and I may or may not, I doubt if I'll have a play. But tomorrow, during the video, the free play video, we'll give you a discount for a monthly package. I'll be very thin with plays in the first week. I like to let the dust settle a little bit. But just a note in Major League Baseball, last season was virtually unpredictable. With the setup that we have, the short 60-game season, all that stuff. But a regular season the previous 2 years, we were epic. Over 200 units. I don't know what the number was over 200, so I'm not going to state it here, but it was over 200 units combined. We had 142 units the year before last, and we never lay over 150 in Major League Baseball. Very rarely. If we do, maybe 155 on a stretch where we just know it's almost a shoe-in, but very rarely do I do that. Not a lot of run lines, not putting out minus 320s in a money line parlay, and some of the stuff these guys do to put up 600 games a year. I don't do it. Oh, slow and steady wins the race, tortoise and the hare, laying low numbers. If that's your style, then you're going to like me this year. We've had a full spring training, full spring games, a lot to work with, like a normal season. So last year was kind of an anomaly for everybody, a lot of people anyway, me included. So really looking forward to this year's Major League Baseball, notoriously my strongest sport. So that being said, be sure and jump over to Docs and check out all the offerings there. Last night, you witnessed what I witnessed here. Your free play didn't win. I thought if there was a team, at least up to this point, that could give Gonzaga a game, I thought it would be USC, and I was dead wrong. I had the under in that game, and I had Michigan. The strongest play of the day was the under, so we turned a small profit. Finished the Elite Eight 4-1. And have hit 12 out of our last 16 NCAA Big Dance picks. Our picks will be out Saturday for the Final Four. We'll talk about those lines in a second. But last night, I went down to Circa with Mrs. George to watch the games and have some dinner and a few libations. And Mrs. George managed to win big on the video poker machine. So paid for the evening and then some. So that was nice. But as I was watching that game, it dawned on me. I was trying to rack my brain. I've been in this business. I'll be 30 years starting this NFL season. My 30th year in the business, and I've been handicapping a long time, betting games a long time, and I was trying to think of the last time I've seen a team as good as Gonzaga. And it really, the only one that I can even think can come close, probably when UNLV was rolling with Ogman and Johnson and Tark was coach, offensively. And I'm talking about a team that can give them a game. Because no team's given them a game in the tournament. No team's given them a game all year except West Virginia. 29 out of 30 games by double digits. They beat teams by 96 points combined in 4 games in the NCAA tournament, averaging, beating all of them by 15 or more. And they're laying 14 against UCLA. And the total's 145. I mean, they're unbeatable. They're going to win the national title. I got a $2,000 ticket at plus 150, and I was worried about last night. Now, if Baylor was to beat Houston, could Baylor give them a game? Maybe. They were supposed to play earlier this year, and it got canceled because of Baylor's COVID issues. But at the end of the day, USC had a big advantage in the paint, I thought, especially with Mobley. He's an NBA player. They put up more points in the paint against USC than USC allowed to anybody in the paint all year long. And defensively, they're stout. And they knock down shots. And if the guys on the floor aren't knocking down shots, they put guys off the bench in that can hit them. Suggs is a stud. Timmy was a stud. I mean, It's the best team I've ever seen since I've been handicapped in sports in college basketball. Period. And they're very well coached. On the other side of the coin last night, Michigan. We had Michigan. For 3 units, we had 4 units on the under in the first game. You don't handicap a team that goes 0 for 8 their final 8 shots in the Elite 8. Most teams that get to the Elite 8, remember, these are the last 8 standing out of 360 teams. You don't have to worry about teams not knocking down shots. That's how they got there. Well, that's why Alabama lost, and that's why Michigan lost. You went 0 for 8. You know how many times you say in an Elite 8 game in this day and age that a team scores 51 points and advances to the Final Four? Not very often. How many times you say a team advances to the Final Four scoring 49? 0. Not even back in the Virginia days. I mean, you got to make shots. You go 0 for 8, you're going to lose. You're not going to cover a number. They had chances to cover that number. They couldn't hit a shot to save their life. And UCLA, what a story. What a story. That's Cinderella. Cinda-frickin-rella right there. And guess what? It wasn't pretty. But it doesn't make a difference what it looks like if you win. It's kind of like topping a ball when you're golfing down the middle of the fairway off the tee box, but it rolls out 190 yards, 220 yards, and it's sitting right in the middle. It doesn't matter how it got there, what got it there. It's there and it's in the middle. And that's kind of UCLA. I don't think you're going to beat Gonzaga scoring 51 points. If you think they would, well, you need to commit yourself to an insane asylum. 14-145, that's the number. Baylor laying 5 against Houston, total 135. And Houston can play some defense. Baylor can too. They haven't played a great defense in this tournament, but Houston has. So that's going to be a very interesting game. I've got a strong opinion in that game, but that's going to be another one on Saturday you're going to enjoy. You know. Are these the best 4 standing? Well, they must be because they're there, but I think 3 of them are. Just my opinion, I could be wrong. Let's get to your free play tonight in the NBA. Detroit at home, plus 7.5 against Portland. And, you know, this is going to be a contrarian play because the entire universe is going to be on Portland. I'm going to be on Detroit. And, you know, if you take a dive into this game a little bit, just talking about Detroit a little bit, despite their record, they're only getting beat this season by an average of 3.5 points per game. And that's amazing. That's an amazing stat. They traded away Griffin. They're a bottom feeder in the East. They have no chance of getting to the playoffs. Even in the East. I mean, there's 0 chance. You know, you're just coming off a 14-point home win against Toronto. You're catching 7.5. And you look at the Blazers, you know, a couple of things going against them in this one. This is the 4th game of an East Coast road swing. And they're 3-0 on the first 3 games. They haven't won any of those games by more than 7 points. And now we're taking on lowly old Detroit. You know. There's the Detroit Pistons, like a guy on the corner with a cup in his hand. You know, begging for change. Just trying to get through the season without embarrassing themselves. Well, the Blazers, despite being 10 games over 500, have been outscored on the season. You know. And I know you got Damian Lillard, McCollum, and, you know, Nurk coming back here, which is going to make him even more deadly. You know, you got, you know, some role players there for him as well. They're a good basketball team, don't get me wrong. And Lillard can go off for 40 or 50 any day of the week. At any point in time against any defense. He's that good. He's one of the top 5 players in the league. But that being said, towards the end of a road trip against a lowly old opponent, how many times have I told you this? Give me the home dog plus 7.5. Contrarian pick, Pistons tonight. Back at you on Thursday. Sean Salisbury and I will be doing a couple of shows tomorrow and a couple of shows on Friday for you. I had a little bit of a scheduling conflict today, so we're going to live to fight another day and do them Thursday and Friday for you. So Sean will be back as well. And we appreciate you tuning in today. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff.